Good afternoon, my name is Jonathan Dixon, and I'm going to be giving you a brief history on Nintendo and its consoles. During this, I will be presenting Nintendo's history, where they've been, and where they're going in the future. At the end, I'll tell you about Nintendo's new project coming up next year. Nintendo was founded in 1889, primarily as a trading card company. That was until 1956, where they changed their focus towards making toys. This is the Ultra Hand. The Ultra Hand was designed by one of the engineers at Nintendo. The founder of Nintendo saw it, loved it, mass-produced it, and it sold very well. They also made such toys as the electronic load tester. In 1977, they changed their focus towards video games. This is the Color TV Game 6. It had very basic graphics, like most of the Palm consoles at that time. This is a Nintendo Entertainment System, released in 1985. This revolutionized the video game industry at the time. It has sold 62 million units worldwide. It sports 8-bit graphics, and it single-handedly saved the video game industry. In 1987, there was a crash in the video game industry. People were pushing out subpar games and saturated the market with garbage. In 1990, they released the Super Nintendo Entertainment System, or the SNES. It had 16-bit graphics, had advanced graphics, and sound capabilities. These are some of the best games and soundtracks that are still enjoyed today. Some games have become collector items, catching over $1,000 per game. In 1996, they released the Nintendo 64, codenamed the Ultra 64. This brought 3D gaming into the mainstream. People were fighting in stores to get one of these. They also created some of the best multiplayer games that are still enjoyed today. This is a Nintendo GameCube, released in 2001. While it wasn't as well received as the other consoles, some people thought it was strange with its cube outside. This was the beginning of Nintendo's failures. While their competition, the Microsoft Xbox and the Sony PlayStation, Nintendo couldn't keep up to their graphics. 2006 came the Wii U. This was a blockbuster hit. Nintendo was relying on its fun controls with the Wiimote and marketed for the whole family. It had motion controls, which synced up to a sensor bar in front of the TV. It sold amazingly, but due to its graphical limitation, it died off very early. Later in its life cycle, people continued to make games for it that were also very bad for it. And it could not keep up to the Xbox 360 and the PlayStation 3. While the graphics were much nicer than the GameCube, they still did not compare to their competitors. This is the Wii U, released in 2001. Met with lukewarm reception. People were confused that if it was a new system or an add-on to the Wii U. The tablet was linked to the console. So at this time, tablets were blowing up. The iPad, the Samsung Galaxy tablets, they were a straight comparison for this. People didn't understand why be linked to a console when you can just have these tablets anywhere and go anywhere. And it was also released a year before the Xbox One and the PlayStation 4. They tried to get ahead of the crowd. Unfortunately, they did not fail. Unfortunately, they failed. While the graphics were amazing compared to the other consoles, they just didn't compare again to the Xbox One and the PlayStation 4. Nintendo has stumbled before with dismal sales of products such as the Virtual Boy. They released this in the 90s, and the 3D graphics made people very sick that you can only play for a certain amount of time. While they have a couple flops in their hands, Nintendo has mostly been positive. And with how much money they make on the handheld market now, with the 3DS, they can operate at a loss for the next 30 years and still not go bankrupt. Next is the Nintendo NX. Not much is known about this console, but it should be released next year or the year after that. They're trying to play catch-up to the Xbox One and the PlayStation 4. They've been working with mobile game developers such as DNA to produce Mario games and the Nintendo characters, and put them into mobile games. Now, I believe that Nintendo will come back from this. There's very many Nintendo fans, and they have a bright future ahead of them. Thank you very much.